Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast, where everything is sadness and my body hurts. In the loser's lounge, Avs lose to the Arizona Coyotes 4-2, but really 2-1 in a game in which it was the Colorado Avalanche versus Darcy Kuemper. Let's just be honest about it. Darcy Kuemper played out of his mind, and that's why the Avs lost.
Okay, see you Monday.
Yeah, show over. Done here. Goodbye. I do think it's going to be a short show, though. I don't think there's a ton to talk about in this one. Yeah. Kuemper made, 49 saves, I think he had. He played so well, the Avs podcast had to give him king of the game from DraftKings. So it's just a ridiculous performance from him. And Arizona stole the game on a back-to-back because Darcy Kuemper only gave up one real goal. And both goals he gave up were double deflection nonsense. Any shot that got through clean, he stopped. So it is what it is on that front. Honestly, though, you can be mad, AJ. I know you're mad about the loss, but this is not a recipe for success for Arizona, I don't think.
No. I mean, your only fear is that this is Yaroslav Halak in 2010 against Washington.
Right, where
that's your only fear.
Series, yeah,
because they got up, the Caps were up 2-0 in that series, and they lost 4 straight because because Yaro Halak just shut it all down. But I will say, every year there are hot goaltenders that lose series. They win a game or two, but they lose a series. The only reason that we remember Yaro Halak 10 years later is because
they won the series.
It was such a memorable thing that had to have happened. So it's, I don't have any. There's very little for me to say about this. Colorado played well. You can nitpick. Oh, the Avs don't get to the slot. The Avs don't do this. The Avs don't do that. I'm sorry, but they put 50 plus shots on goal.
Is that even true? I mean, I think the Avs got to the slot plenty. Just Kadri and Rantanen couldn't finish their chances from the slot, is what it came down to.
I mean, what's actually true versus what you feel moments after you're pissed about a loss, it's always in question.
Yeah.
The reality is that did Colorado do a very good job of creating chances really quality chances right in front of Kuemper? Probably not. But they weren't lacking for attempts from anywhere and everywhere. They weren't lacking for quality attempts. They had 39 scoring chances in the game.
Yep.
So
I think on shot attempts, they nearly tripled Arizona. This was not a competitive game.
They had 92 shot attempts to 39 shot attempts. So if your argument is going to be about quality, I don't have time for it.
Yep.
I don't have time for any of this today, honestly. Darcy Kuemper was a superstar today. The guy was awesome. When he got beat, the Avs got a post. The only goals that got by him were weird bounces off of skates.
Yep. The Avs couldn't buy one. Darcy Kuemper couldn't make a mistake. Arizona capitalized on a couple small mistakes from the Avs, and that's the game.
Yeah, and that's great. Like, hey, Arizona, this is exactly how Arizona got through Nashville. Is they got completely caved in. Darcy Kuemper bailed them out, and they scored on their only opportunities.
Yep. It just doesn't seem sustainable for Arizona, and certainly a frustrating loss for the Avs.
It's not sustainable for anybody. Nobody ever gets through anything like this. Even if you win a round, it's not sustainable for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is that we've seen Arizona's not a very good hockey team. The Avs are significantly better. We saw the best Arizona had to give as a team yesterday, and it was pretty dead even at the end of the day.
Yep. This was another game where they got smoked and just got bailed out. So it is what it is.
They took advantage of their 2 goals. It's a bad change in the second period. I'm not even upset with Francouz about that. That's a good shot. It gets right over his glove. You see goalies get beat there all the time. The difference is that one of those goalies getting beat there is not Darcy Kuemper. So it looks weird.
Yep.
What do you say? The power play was great today. The penalty kill is perfect for the series.
Yeah, special teams looked excellent. The one goal they got, not technically a power play goal, but essentially
was scored with 1 second left. The shot was taken with 1 second left. The puck actually went in at the very tick of the next second. So it's not technically a power play goal. So the Avs technically are without power play goals with 2 games in a row, but that, for all intents and purposes, is their second power play goal in the bubble just as time expired. That unit's been really good. I'm so sick of hearing about the damn power play. It was really good today. It was bad. It was bad yesterday. And if you can't tell the difference between the power play yesterday and today, I don't know what we're doing here. It was really, really, really good today. It did everything that you wanted to do except beat Darcy Kuemper. And that sometimes that just happens.
Look, it's just the way the game played out today. I do wonder, look, the way the Avs have found success beating Kuemper in games 1 and 2, second chance opportunities, putting back rebounds. It does feel a little bit like the back-to-back. They just didn't quite have the gas to win the battles to some of those rebounds and get a put-back finish, which is all the more reason that I'm not super worried about the series going forward, because that's it. There are no more back-to-backs in the rest of this series. And the Avs have proved that they're the better team. I think there's no doubt about that.
It's not even close, man. It's honestly, this is why I'm as frustrated as I am, is because this should be 3-0, and we should be getting ready. We should be busting out brooms Monday evening, because this is a waste of everybody's time. These guys suck. They don't belong on the same ice, and I'm sick of it. I hope they're feeling in Edmonton how I'm feeling now, because I want to get on. I want to get on with the good stuff. I'm tired of this Darcy Kuemper one-man show bullshit. He's the only reason that this series is still relevant. He's the only reason this series has been relevant since it began. These guys aren't good. And watching them get away with this has to be why everybody hated the Avs in 13-14. This has to be why.
Nonsense.
Because it's infuriating to watch a team be bad and get caved in and get rolled and get away with it. It's just like, look, dude, you respect the process. You respect how things are supposed to go. You outplay a team, you should win. You don't. Sometimes that happens. That's sports. Like, that happens. And that's part of what makes sports great, is that you can play like garbage and steal a win every now and then. The Avs played their C+ game yesterday and stole a win. They played some variation of an A game today, and they lose. And congratulations, you got sports balled. But it's just,
I think there's a very real world where Monday evening the Avs put up a 6 spot on Kuemper or something.
This is how I'm feeling, dude, is like, we haven't seen that Avs offense yet since the bubble started.
Yep.
And this was a team that a fourth of their regular season games, they scored more than 5 goals. Like, I'm feeling like there is a beatdown on the way. I don't know if it's in game 4. I don't know if it's in game 5. Maybe it's in game 1 of the next series if they advance. But I'm ready to get to it, because it's going to be cathartic as hell.
Yep.
It's going to be cathartic. I want that picture that they had of Anton Khudobin when the Avs beat Dallas during the round robin, where Khudobin was just laying on the ice because he was like, guys,
oh my God,
can you guys give me some semblance of help, please? Because Darcy Kuemper's not getting anything.
Yep.
Like, Rick Tocchet shouldn't have even let his team celebrate that win. It should have been, you all owe Darcy all of the beers and all of the goods tonight. The rest of you should be embarrassed because you're bad and you don't belong in the playoffs. You don't deserve to play for the Stanley Cup. You're an embarrassment to watch. You're awful to watch. I'm so over this Arizona nonsense. They are not fun to watch. This kind of hockey is always successful because you always get a shitty team that rolls their way into the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they win a game or two that looks exactly like this, and it sucks. And I just don't like being on the other end of it. It's fine when it's other people's problems, but I don't like being on the other end of this bullshit. I'm over this today.
Hard to argue. I mean, look, I'm trying to pull out negatives here, and there really aren't that many for the Avs other than that they lost. So
like Mikko didn't play particularly well, right? Like, Rantanen needs to get better.
Right. He needs to play better, but
bad
Mikko is generating chances and not finishing them. Like
he's missing the net. It's not, and like were there some moments where pucks slipped away from his stick, and there were some fumbles. Like there were some breaks where they've got an opportunity in transition, which is where they're at their best, and it slips off of his stick and he has to go get it in the corner, and now they're in a cycle game, which is where they're just not as good. Like, yeah, okay, yes, that happened. Are you going to sit Mikko Rantanen? No, don't be a moron.
Right.
You're not going to sit Mikko Rantanen because you're really fired up about Logan freaking O'Connor.
Sitting Rantanen is nonsense. The player that he can be isn't that far away from where he's at. Yeah, it's sloppy, but if he makes better contact with a couple of those opportunities, the Avs run away with this game 3-1. Like, you're going to give that up because he couldn't finish them? I don't think so. The other side, the other player I saw people talking about, obviously Cale Makar had some struggles with the empty net. The dude played 26 minutes in a back-to-back game.
Right at the very, very, very end, if you want to kind of get on Makar for that a little bit, I hear you. He was not good in that situation. The guy had 7 shots on goal and was more dangerous than half of Colorado's forwards because he was jumping into the play all game long and he was activating offense and he was trying to be creative. It's funny. One of my big takeaways from this game was, oh my God, these guys are going to be really good when Bowen Byram gets here, because when there's another defenseman that can actively jump into the offense and create and be dangerous offensively with the puck, Gerard just kind of isn't that guy.
Yeah.
Right. Like he's
going to distribute from the point as well.
Exactly. He's a good puck mover, but in terms of carrying the puck and getting in and around space and creating and being dangerous, Byram is going to add that element. And when Byram and Makar are both going to be out there, it's going to be awesome. Because I was watching Makar and it was like he's the only guy that can do this right now.
And he hit a post today too. So
yeah,
it was that close to this being
Graves
a runaway
smoked
game.
One off a post.
Ripped the post. He had a bunch of shots on goal too. And I just don't. Makar at the end of this game, it was so painfully obvious that he just had nothing left in the tank after the back-to-back games. And it was like, okay, well, whatever.
And you know what? There were mistakes there. Okay. You're going to live and die with the mistakes that your best players make. Yep. You're just going 100%. To. You're not going to look at that and say, well, maybe next time we should put Eric Johnson out there, because there's an upside there that just doesn't exist with EJ anymore that does with Cale Makar.
By a long shot.
And there's nothing you can do when your best players make those kinds of mistakes. The same thing with Rantanen struggles right now. You know what? You're talking about, would you take Mikko Rantanen's struggles right now where he's a point per game player? Or would you take the Johnny Gaudreau struggles from last season's playoffs against Colorado where the guy was a ghost?
Look at this from Arizona's shoes. If the Avs go out and Darcy Kuemper gives up 3 softies in game 4, are they not going to play him in game 5? Absolutely not.
Yeah, right.
He's their only hope. And
he could give up 6 softies and it wouldn't even be close.
Exactly. While the Avs don't have to rely on a singular player quite like Arizona does, they're still putting their hopes on their best players to be the best players. It's just the reality of a hockey team that you live and die with those guys.
And you're not going to punish those guys for 1 or 2 games. Mikko Rantanen's career has been excellent, far more often than it's been whatever the hell you want to call what he's playing like right now.
Yeah.
It's more confusing than anything else.
It's just kind of weird.
Because you and I watch it and we're like, oh, it's close.
Yeah, right.
He's the line between frustrating and excellent is super, super thin in this case, because one less bobbled puck and he goes top shelf on somebody, and you're like, Mikko's back.
The level between genius and idiot is very fine.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. It is what it is. This is a stupid game that everyone should be frustrated with, and it's ultimately not going to matter in this series because the Avs are going to come out and continue to dunk on this team every single night, and something's got to give.
Matt Calvert deserves more points.
Yeah. Denim Daddy was a monster in this game, straight up.
Yeah, 100%. At some point, he's going to fight all of the Coyotes bench.
Darcy Kuemper is going to have to wear jorts once Matt Calvert is done with him. That's all.
Yeah, I'm saying. You know what? The Denim Daddy is going to like put them on him. He's gonna bang home a rebound, and it's just gonna. His pads are just gonna morph into jorts.
Just become jorts. There we go. That's what the Avs need. All right, Avs, if you're listening, your Player of the Game award should be a pair of jorts in the locker room. You have to take off your hockey pants and put on the jorts. If you're the Player of the Game, confirmed.
I think it should be their punishment for losing today. Is that they all have to spend the next 2 days walking around in jorts in Edmonton.
Just live in the bubble wearing jorts, and everyone gets to laugh at you, and they come into Game 4 angry as hell.
That's right. Embarrassed.
I love it. That's what I want to see.
Honestly, though, there's nothing that they should be embarrassed about from today. Like there were some guys who didn't play well, but like, yeah, you know what? I'm with JJ here that Nichushkin and Donskoy not good games.
They weren't.
They were rough games. Nichushkin is actively like
he's pretty much ghosted.
He's like chopping off years of any contract extension he might get as this goes on.
And I mean, look, no team's going to be perfect, but if you take the underlying numbers of this game, you take it every single night for the Avs.
Yeah, and like I'm actually curious because the expected goals for stuff favored Arizona.
Sure.
And I'm wondering how much of that is the fact that they got 2 empty net goals at the very, very, very end.
Run that algorithm 55 minutes of this game and just chop off the last 5. And what does that algorithm say?
Yeah, I would be curious because I saw that and was like, I wonder how much, because it also had Arizona with 5 high danger chances in the third. And I'm like, they didn't even have the puck in the third.
Did they even have 5 shots in the third? I mean, I guess with the 2 empty netters they did.
They had 6.
Yeah, so without the empty netters, they had 4 shots on goal in that period.
Yeah, I don't know. That was one where I was looking at it and I was like, I'd be curious to go back and actually see those and see what they look like.
Yeah.
But anyway, point is, I don't have anything to say about.
Look, it is what it is. Be frustrated, be mad, take that energy into Monday and beat this team into oblivion is, I think, where it's at. So I got nothing else to say besides I'm going to finish off this beer.
Yeah. I'm going to start drinking as soon as this is over.
All right. It's your weekend. I hope y'all enjoy your weekend. We're going to get out of here. A quick little one just to say Darcy Kuemper was insane and the Avs are clearly the better team. Enjoy it. Get out of there. Come ready Monday to watch the Avs beat this team down at the DNVR bar. Until then, I guess we'll talk to you on Monday.